Coronation Street revealed a major blow to the scheme by Kevin Webster and Ronnie Bailey to make Carl answer for the Corriedale crash and clear Debbie of blame. In the episode broadcast on the 19th of February, Kevin and Ronnie used a master key to enter Carl's hotel suite. Carl accused them of repeatedly bothering him and made it clear he had no plans to admit anything, confidently claiming Debbie would be released before long. Refusing to back down, the pair forced Carl to accompany them to the police station, expecting him to finally admit he had been driving on the night of the collision. Once there, Carl surprised a frustrated Kit Green by declaring he wanted to file an assault complaint against Kevin and Ronnie, pointing to injuries on his face as proof. Kevin defended their actions by calling it a citizen's arrest, insisting Carl had deliberately concealed key information from the night of the crash. He firmly stated that Carl was the one behind the wheel, prompting Kit to separate all three men for individual questioning. Later, Kit told Kevin and Ronnie that his superior would not pursue Carl's assault claims, since it came down to one version of events against another. He also revealed there was no intention to reopen Debbie's case, advising them they would need a far more careful strategy if they hoped to expose Carl. After Kit walked away, Ronnie admitted they needed to be more strategic, but vowed he wouldn't give up. Kevin agreed, equally determined to keep fighting. With Debbie's future resting on whether they could uncover proof against Carl, he chose to take a ruthless approach to protect himself. He even admitted to Jody Ramsey that he was willing to do whatever it took after the two spent the night together. In the closing moments, a prison officer informed Debbie that her brother had arranged a visit. Expecting Kevin, she was stunned when Carl appeared instead, unaware to her, but known to viewers, that he is actually her hidden son. Is Coronation Street about to kill off Theo Silverton? 8 major hints to weigh up. This spring could see the tide finally turn against Theo, as recent scenes have hinted he might not survive the coming drama. A major incident is set to rock the cobbles on the 23rd of April, the same day Carla Connor marries Lisa Swain, and viewers suspect Theo could be right at the center of the chaos. Flash-forward scenes recently showed Betsy Swain being questioned by police after discovering a body during her mother's big day. Theo was later named among 5 possible victims, alongside Carl Webster, Jody Ramsey, Maggie Driscoll, and Megan Walsh. So is Theo doomed or not? Here's the evidence on both sides. Number 1, the timing. Theo first arrived on the show on the 23rd of March last year, immediately clashing with Julie Carp and George Shuttleworth. With almost exactly a year passing, some fans wonder if his storyline was always meant to run for a fixed period. Producers likely mapped out his dark arc with Todd from the beginning, so a planned 13-month run before a dramatic exit isn't impossible. Number 2, the longest-running villain in the frame. All 5 potential victims have caused trouble, but Theo has arguably been the most persistent menace and perhaps the one viewers most want to see punished. No criticism of James Cartwright, whose portrayal has been widely praised, but audience frustration with Theo is intense. That growing pressure could push writers to deliver a decisive end to his reign. Number 3, plenty of people might want revenge. If the show launches a full whodunit after the death is revealed, Theo's enemies would give writers endless possibilities. Todd has already been seen holding a knife in ominous scenes, sparking fears he could snap against his abusive fiancée. Theo has also clashed with his estranged wife Danielle and made powerful enemies elsewhere. Once the truth about his behavior comes out, Todd's loved ones could also be driven to act. Number 4, few deep roots in Weatherfield. Several other possible victims are tied closely to long-standing families and ongoing plots. Carl is central to the Webster family stories. Maggie dominates her clan, and Jody is becoming more involved with established characters. Theo, by contrast, has limited connections. His family barely features, and his storyline revolves almost entirely around Todd. If that relationship ends, his role in the show could end with it, making him easier to write out permanently. Number 5, poetic justice. Theo previously abandoned Billy during the Corriedale crash, effectively leaving him to die in order to protect his secrets. Soap storytelling often delivers karmic consequences, so some viewers believe Theo losing his own life would be fitting payback. But there are strong reasons he might survive. Number 6. A familiar storyline pattern. The show previously tackled a major domestic abuse plot involving Jeff and Yasmin, which ended in Jeff's dramatic death. Producers have said they want this newer storyline to feel different. That could mean a more grounded ending, perhaps legal consequences rather than a sensational killing. A scenario where Todd kills Theo in self-defense might feel too similar to past storylines. Number 7. Hints from the producer. Show producer Kate Brooks has repeatedly suggested the storyline will focus on Todd eventually finding the strength to leave. She has also highlighted the influence of concerned friends, including Christina and Sarah, as key to how events unfold. Her interviews have emphasized realism and emotional growth, not shock value tragedy. That could hint at prison rather than death, though she may simply be protecting future twists. Number 8. Could it be too predictable? Soap mysteries rarely go for the most obvious answer. A recent poll on This Morning found that 44% of viewers expect Theo to be the victim. But would the writers really choose the outcome everyone already expects? Brooks has teased a storyline packed with reversals and surprises, suggesting the truth could head in a completely different direction. Coronation Street has taken Bernie's story into a much darker place, and here's the reason why. A star from the long-running soap has revealed the thinking behind the decision to push Bernie Winter-Allahan's storyline in a far more troubling direction. Viewers are already aware that she is going through a frightening situation after taking drugs in a hotel room alongside a suspicious newcomer named Mal Roper. Since then, the stranger has continued to trouble her, and the tension is expected to intensify next week when Bernie is arrested after Mal is discovered with a serious head injury, although it is still unclear whether she is actually responsible. Speaking about this darker phase of Bernie's journey, the actor explained that the show has never fully explored how deeply she was affected by losing her son in 2024, as well as the death of her son-in-law. According to her, these painful losses have played a major role in Bernie's recent downward spiral. She shared that she was glad the storyline would finally confront that grief, pointing out that everyone must eventually face such emotions in life. Bernie had suppressed her feelings for the past year and a half, but the later loss intensified everything, especially because it reminded her so strongly of her son. She had also been busy supporting everyone else around her while simultaneously dealing with emotional upheaval involving other family matters. With so many pressures at once, she was stretched to her limit. In many ways, she had been trying to patch over countless problems, but grief does not follow rules or schedules. It resurfaces when it chooses, and that is exactly what happened to her. Bernie has also kept the full truth from her husband about why she took drugs, and he still has no idea she was alone in a room with Mal. The actor admitted that Bernie often tells only part of the truth, explaining that she has spent much of her life lying because she feels she has failed as a mother. She also suggested that Bernie has never truly experienced the level of kindness she now receives from her husband. Reflecting on the character overall, the actor described her as a survivor, adding that this resilience reflects a strong, working-class spirit. She also enjoys that the character keeps her rough edges, saying it is exciting to constantly wonder what trouble Bernie will find herself in next. Coronation Street is broadcast on weekday evenings at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.